Hello again everyone, Age of June here, and we are back casting another League of Legends game. As you can see here, mostly diamonds from last season, so you could probably guess that it's probably going to be a fairly high elo this time. Again, most of the ones featured inside of the featured games are going to be high elo, but even still, it's always nice to be able to show that at least last season they were indeed high elo then. I'm not going to go back in time, well, a minute back. There's really no reason for it. There's no kills, no deaths, nothing. Looks like a little bit of almost fight down here, but they decided against it. The purple team does seem to be wanting to steal this red buff, but I don't think... Okay, no, it looks like everybody but Caitlyn is leaving. She's probably going to ditch here in just a moment. Yeah, she seems to be scattering. The blue team, I believe, is congregating around blue buff. It looks like they have Zach doing the jungling this time, which is fairly normal. You often see Zach jungling. He's actually a really good jungler, if nothing else, just because of his huge gank range. Because of that jump over the wall, he can just go ahead, jump over the wall into a bush, and you have no idea he's there until all of a sudden he's coming out swinging at you. I think he's a little bit of a slow, but not incredibly much. He actually did smite early there. That's fairly normal, honestly, when it is on blue buff early like this, because you don't expect the enemy to invade. He already knows that they're not invading, so he just goes ahead and puts out that smite early so that it'll be off cooldown sooner so that he can go ahead and use it again on red buff. A little harassed there. Shen was actually waiting for her, so when she came up, he wailed into her a little bit. Alright, let's go ahead and put our champion list in here. We've got Riven, played by Lock on Stratos, versus Shen, played by GaryMFOak. I have a feeling this guy probably plays a little bit of Pokemon. I think that's where that's from. Oh, it was a good attempt at a grab there, by the way. Mid lane, we've got Karthus, played by Schroeder Jones, versus Anivia, played by Anti, depending on how you say it, I'm not sure. Draven actually did just get the kill on Caitlyn there as we were watching. I believe he actually ended up getting it with his bleed. Let's see. Ah, it looks like Ignite, but I'm gonna take a look anyway. I want to see exactly how he did it. She is low here, so we know that's how he went ahead and did that. I think he flashed for it, actually. He did. She popped her barrier. She is ignited. And yeah, that is indeed what took her down. The Ignite plus the Bleed was able to burst through her little barrier there and make her dead. She is dead. Blitzcrank tried to pull back into the tower, but it didn't work. It was a good attempt, though. Schroeder Jones and Anti still mid, both actually full health. Neither one really doing anything. Riven actually got really close to dying, so she's having to go back. Zach has finished his clear of the jungle, and both members of the blue team on bot lane are going back. So we can go ahead and look at this. We've got Draven, played by fabbbyyy. I think I've cast a game with him in it before. I'm almost certain. It's been a little while, but I'm almost certain I have seen him before. And I think he was good back then. I don't remember. It's been a little while. Versus Caitlyn, played by KPS Holy. That one I'm reasonably certain I have not seen. Then we've got Sona, played by Wyby for the support for the blue team, versus Blitzcrank, played by stanleydo for the purple team support. He's actually waiting in this bush, wanting to get a thing off, but there's a gank coming on up here. Let's go ahead and go back a little bit so we can see this whole gank. I want to see the whole thing. Lee Sin came in from behind. We'll look at his name later. And the Zach is actually coming in there, and okay. Ended up being not too much. Had it not been for Zach here, they probably would have continued going in on Karthus and may actually have ended up killing him. But because Zach showed up there, the Lee Sin did go ahead and jump over that wall to Anivia so he could escape with no problem. Zach is now setting up for a gank here. It's not warded, so Shen doesn't know, but Shen's going back anyway, so that's not going to happen. Back down to mid. Zach goes, as did Lee Sin. Lee Sin is going in. He did land the slow on the Karthus. Karthus is also getting pretty low, but the Zach is coming in from behind now. He's charging up his jump. He does end up jumping right onto that Anivia. He's getting her pretty low. I don't think he's going to be able to kill her just because of her ulti there, or her ability there. Yeah, that thing. So she is not going to die there. Lee Sin actually might. He does... he forgot about the whole Zach thing. Yeah, Zach doesn't die either, man. Although it looks like she did end up taking down Karthus, but now Karthus has unlimited mana, but I don't think he's going to take anything down. But Riven is coming down from behind, so she's going to jump in, and Anivia is close enough to the wall that she's going to be fine. Now, I'll just go back here. Let's see what happened here. We saw Draven kill somebody. Okay. Draven's here. It looks like the Sona got caught out of position a little bit, counter-warding there. So the Draven came on up to help her, which is what you should always do as an AD carry. If your support is in a little bit of trouble, just go up and help. The Caitlyn died to the bleed, and then the Blitzcrank died to the ulti. So that was not bad at all. Draven just got a double kill out of that, and Sona's going to go right back to killing that ward. And that's the almost gank on Anivia, and we're back up to where we were before. This bush is actually pink warded by the purple team, so they know that the blue team does not have a ward there. I was playing, actually no, you've already seen it, the game I was playing here, where I had a ward there the entire game and I never got a gank by the jungler. That was sad. It's always very sad to set things up perfectly so your jungler can go ahead and come in and he just never shows up. It's kind of understandable. I mean, junglers really can't be everywhere. If the other lanes are not doing well, he can only really gank one lane at a time, and honestly doing too much ganking sets him so far behind that I don't really blame him overly much. It happens. Down bot, both of the members of the blue team are going back, of course, and finally, looks like Anivia had to go back as well. Alright, so finally we can go ahead and go back to look at the junglers. We've got Lee Sin, who is HgHector. Looks like he's Mercury. HgHector. I don't know if that's actually what he's intending. That would be my guess. Usually when you say HG like that, it is indeed Mercury. It's the chemical symbol for Mercury. And I would guess that's what he's talking there. I don't know. It could be something else. And finally, we've got Zac, who is played by ZzLegendary. Alright, so Karthus is coming up for a gank. I'm not sure if they're going to go ahead and turret dive. They are level 6. Riven just went in. She's doing quite a bit of damage now. Karthus came in, going in pretty hard on that Shen. Riven did barely manage to escape. And unfortunately for them, so did Shen. But there's the Karthus ulti. It didn't end up killing the Shen. Riven's going in. She does go ahead and take down the Shen. Now she's going to die for it. So that wasn't too bad. It did end up giving a kill to Shen, but it gave a kill and assist to the blue team. So definitely could have been worse. Lee Sin is coming down bot to gank. He's about to be picked up by this ward, so you're going to see the blue team rapidly fall back. They actually might be able to do this just because it is Draven, and he could probably rip through somebody. He is going in. He's doing quite a bit of damage there. There is a teleport from Karthus. So there is the slow, and now the purple team is on the run. Draven just landed another axe. Shen's actually coming in now. The Blitzcrank just landed a pull on the Draven. Draven is now under the tower. He's getting pretty low, but he's going to be fine. There's his ulti. The Shen is actually chasing after him. Did not end up taking him down. Caitlyn's going in on the Sona, and it doesn't look like anybody's quite ready to die, although they're all getting really close. Caitlyn could take one more shot before she died. Her very next shot's going to kill her. So she's going to have to fall back away from this tower or she will die. The Draven is going in on the tower. Karthus is actually going up to steal blue buff, which is pretty impressive. Not a bad decision on his part. Blitzcrank is rushing out, trying to do a little bit of possibly pulling him into the tower range, but it's not going to happen. Karthus is actually he's getting low enough that he's not going to be able to do that alone. Zac was coming up to help him, but it looks like they've decided against it. And now Lee Sin is coming out, so he's going to get his blue buff. And there was no blue buff steal for you. It was good. He wanted to, but he did not end up being able to do it. The Draven is back to the tower, just chopping it down with his axes. Kind of odd, throwing axes at a tower to break it down. Seems like it'd be bad for your axes. That's okay. Back up top, the Riven is going back, and Shen is back where he belongs, just keeping his lane pushed, farming, yay for farm. And Zac is back at blue buff, gonna go ahead and grab this blue buff, unless he gives it to Karthus. It looks like he is gonna go ahead and give it to Karthus. He actually started it a bit early for that, but hey, it's great for Karthus, right? So there we go, Karthus does end up getting the blue buff. Zac got the XP from it, or at least some of the XP. So he actually does end up getting to his next level from that blue buff. Riven's going in on the Lee Sin, just whacking around. And there we go, he taunts her. Yeah, not overly much happening there. They both just harass each other, and that's probably fairly normal. Riven is a very good champion early game. It looks like she actually I think she just blew her ulti. She did. So she tried to take him down, almost got him, but she did end up going down. And unfortunately for the blue team, the blue buff from Karthus just went down to this Anivia. Okay, that's what happened. So Karthus was here. Lee Sin came around from behind. The Karthus was just farming, and in came the Lee Sin. There is the gate. He does flash over, but Lee Sin actually jumped to a ward and kicked him out. Got really close to taking down the Karthus, or the Lee Sin, but the Karthus was not quite able to do it. And he actually does have his ulti up. But I have a feeling he figures that the shield from Lee Sin probably would have made that survive, so he did not end up ultiing. And now Zac is here to defend the tower. I think his ulti, or his passive is still down, so he's got to be careful because he can die. Her passive, I think, is down as well. No, her passive is back up. I think her cooldown is actually shorter than Zac's cooldown. And, oh, she was trying to take him down there. She really wants that kill. I can't say I blame her. He's really low. And being able to take that for nothing would be kind of funny. But both top and bottom did just take tower. So that is 2 towers for the blue team. And now the blue team's actually pinging watch out for Anivia. The entire purple team's kind of converging here. So they need to be careful. Sona sees Lee Sin. She did flash out, which pulled Lee Sin way out ahead. The Sona ulti just got almost everyone. The Karthus ulti comes in, is not going to take anybody down, unfortunately, because that Lee Sin was able to ulti the Caitlyn to help her survive. So nobody died on the purple team, which would not really surprising when it's a 4 versus 2. You don't really expect many deaths from that. It's possible that Draven could burst somebody down, but they have a decent amount of CC, so it's pretty unexpected. Now, Anivia and Lee Sin are coming in, wanting to probably go in on this Karthus, but Karthus isn't really okay with that. In comes the Zac, though. Does punt the Anivia up a little bit. Now he's bouncing. The Lee Sin actually just went down, and the Anivia is actually down as well. Blitzcrank came in to help, but it looks like he's actually managing to help because the Anivia is not going to go down. Her egg did indeed save her, but now it's on cooldown, whereas Zac's, I believe, just came back up. Yes, Zac's is back up, so if he sort of dies, then he will undie again. Haha. It's a pretty amusing passive. I like, too, how the counterplay, each blob that you kill before combining gives him more life. It's pretty awesome, as opposed to just one egg. I don't know, the egg is cool, too, but I really like the way Zac is. He seems like a really entertaining champion. I don't know if I'd really enjoy playing him, but he's actually really enjoyable to watch. And they do end up getting that dragon. So that's great for the blue team. They are probably, they're way ahead in gold. They're almost 3k ahead at 12 minutes, which is pretty impressive. The Blitzcrank is now coming down to ward. A little late for that. He does go ahead and place a green ward, so Sona's going to go ahead and kill it. Can't say I blame her. Riven is waiting here for something. I think she's going to come in behind and possibly gank, but it looks like she's decided not to and is instead going to go ahead and head back. No gank. Shen is pushing top, so that, in large part, is why she had to go ahead and fall back so soon. I think she was probably still wanting to go ahead and gank, but honestly, it's not really worth losing your tower for. So that is why she fell back. Now, Shen is still being fairly cautious. He doesn't want to get caught. He doesn't know where she is. He doesn't really know where anybody is, and he is way out because of his tower being gone. So he's got to be careful. That was odd. I'm not sure why there was a fallback ping up here. I think that might have been Riven saying, hey, my guy's missing, be careful. And honestly, Karthus is massively overextended here for how much he's at. And he's probably going to die. He does end up going down to that. I'm not sure why he was so far out with him being so low on life. But because of that, he did end up going down for free there. This pink ward does pick up this green ward from the purple team. It should, so the blue team should know that that ward is there, and they should be able to kill it. Blitzcrank is going in on the Draven. He is going to go ahead and ulti, but he's going to go down for it. There are 2 members going in on Draven, but it is Draven, so Draven just kind of walks away. Bye, guys. That was a good attempt. No gank for you. So he does actually ulti there. I think he's just ulting mostly to get the minions, but he does hit the Caitlyn with both hits on that. There's a couple of pings from the blue team on blue buff, so Draven's coming up. Zac is coming up. And there's a teleport in from Karthus as well. So they are going in on this Lee Sin and Anivia. And Lee Sin's going to go down. Anivia is almost definitely going to go down. Draven's getting low, but Caitlyn's not going to be able to capitalize on it. So Draven is going to survive this. And the blue buff went to Karthus. So Karthus did get it. Oh, and he kills the Caitlyn. I didn't even notice. He was sitting there chasing her down, just blasting her with his bombs. Really annoying to deal with. And it's kind of hard to dodge him when you're trying to run away from somebody. So he does end up taking her down. So he just got blue buff and a kill. 2 kills, actually. So great news for Karthus. Now he's going to go back mid and probably try to take down this tower. There's nobody here to defend it, so it probably is going to go down. He's going to go ahead and grab that farm, and now him and Sona are together going to push this tower down. Almost definitely going to go down. It's definitely looking like this game is going to go into the blue team's favor. It's been in the blue team's favor, but oh, does he get it? Who gets it? Riven got it. Lee Sin is going in on her though, so she needs help, and that help did indeed come. Now, though, he did land his Q, but now he's coming against the rest of the blue team. There is the Sona ulti, so the Shen is going to live amazingly because of that Shen ulti. The Sona oh, nope, he's going to die. Bye. Boom. But Blitzcrank actually took down the Sona, but Karthus, well, that one we already saw. Now Draven took down the Anivia, and he just got the Shen. So now this tower's going to go down, and Blitzcrank has got to stay away. Be careful, Blitzcrank. Caitlyn is down bottom, pushing back, and yeah, the rest of her team is dead outside of Blitzcrank. So not a bad play at all by the blue team. The only one who died for them was Sona, and that is well worth that death. So Draven went ahead and ultied. Let's see his axes. There we go. He's going to get a decent amount of CS for that. He actually got all that CS. His ulti's pretty nice about that. That's one thing about the global ults, just being able to farm from anywhere. But at the same time, you don't want to do that too often just because it's your ulti. It goes on the cooldown, and then you don't have it later. But in this case, I definitely think that was a good decision. He got all of that farm that was at the tower. His tower did not get attacked, and now they're able to push with no problem. Riven actually did it for him. Thanks, Riven. Not sure that's actually a good thank you, but she did go ahead and push it. Now she's probably going to head back up top to defend against Lee Sin, who is pushing her tower back. So the blue team is mostly just back to their lanes. Draven's pushing bot. Sona looks like he's coming mid. The rest of the blue team seems to be coming mid as well. Schroeder Jones here's getting pretty low. But, oh, Caitlyn just came in, and she is going in on him. She is inside of his little glowy goop. So she doesn't end up going down. She did take a little bit of damage, but he was not able to take her down, not even close. So he does go down, and now Draven is actually being attacked by the entire purple team. There is the Caitlyn ulti. He does get stunned by that Anivia. He's trying to just lifesteal off of that. He almost got stunned there by the Anivia. He did get missed, but the Lee Sin Q was able to take him down. So there we go. Good attempt to escape there, Draven. You really overextended there, especially with no wards being here, and he paid the price for it. So purple team's trying to get back into the game here with their kills. They don't have any towers as of yet, and the blue team has been very good at making sure that doesn't happen. So purple team really is trying to get back in the game just by kills alone at the moment. Riven's actually going in on Mr. Shen here. Don't think she's really going to be able to do too much to him. He is tanky. Shen's always tanky. But she's still pretty decently going in on him. Did a little bit of damage at least. And he really didn't do much at all to her. So she now stunned him. Oh, she actually did go ahead and ulti there. So that's pretty odd. And now the rest of the purple team is converging on her. Well, 2 members of the purple team. So now she is going to die. She's going to try to get out of this. I don't believe... Yeah, she does end up going down. The Lee Sin does end up getting the kill for her. And now there is a ping from the blue team on Dragon because they know that Lee Sin was top. Draven is just keeping blue mid pushback. Blue? How does that even come back? I don't know. But so he's going to go ahead, keep this push. And now it looks like he's going to go ahead and help with this Dragon. Blitzcrank is coming down probably to ward, although it's a little too late for that. I think he knows that they're there. There was a ping from the purple team on the Dragon, but they're a little bit too late. They're not going to be able to stop this Dragon, and they might actually end up dying for this if they're not careful. Zach did actually go ahead, flash, and ult, so he popped up the purple team. It's still a 4 versus 5 though, so this is not going to go in the blue team's favor at all. The Caitlyn took down the Draven, Anivia took down Karthus, Zac is going to go down as well. His little blobs are coming back together, but not soon enough, so there's another kill for Caitlyn. And now the purple team's actually ahead in kills. They're still behind in gold, but they're ahead in kills. And if the blue team does not stop making foolish plays like this, they might end up throwing this game. They're way ahead in gold because of the global objectives of the towers and the dragons, but they're slowly losing it as they give more and more kills. Caitlyn is down bottom pushing. I think she's going to go ahead and get this tower. Nobody's coming to stop her. Draven is on the way, but he's not close enough. I'm not sure she'll be able to take the tower before he gets here, but she's definitely going to do quite a bit of damage to it. Getting pretty low. I think she might actually be able to take it down. He's too far back. He's not going to be able to get here in time, and that will be the first tower for the purple team. Maybe. Yep, there we go. Okay, so the tower is indeed down. So she does get the first tower for the purple team. Now she's trying to run away from Draven, who is using his axes to go ahead and... Oh, nice. And now she is caught, so she's almost definitely going to die here. Draven is a terror. He just melts people when he gets them. And with that the little axe throw that he has, the stand aside, yes. You wouldn't think it would really do that much, but the slow is a big thing. Slowed by 20%, and even just the knock aside thing is actually pretty strong too, because it interrupts their walk, and then they have to get started again. So I've noticed that is a far more powerful spell than I originally guessed, just based on the description of it. It doesn't seem that powerful, but honestly it really is, especially when he's chasing like he was there, and he was able to take down that Caitlyn because of it. So the blue team is pushing mid, except for Riven, who's going to go back up top so that she can go in on the Shen, sorry. Shen is not able to take her. She is able to take him down, usually. I think that's still going to be the case, but he actually did a lot more damage to her than she did to him. In large part, I think, because of his shield. But Zac is here to gank. He does go in on him, went ahead and used his jump as well as his punt up. But Blitzcrank is coming in. He did grab the Riven, which is kind of dangerous with her having a stun as she does. But in the meantime, the middle lane, the Sona and Karthus are having a little bit of trouble there. They had the other 3 members of the purple team go in on him. Aw, poor Karthus. Now the Lee Sin's getting really low. Caitlyn just got taken down by Zac. The Lee Sin did end up escaping that. Karthus is trying to take down Anivia. He does end up going down himself to Anivia, but Riven takes down Shen. There's the Karthus ulti and Riven takes down the Blitzcrank. The Karthus ulti did not end up taking down the Lee Sin, although it was probably pretty close. So the Karthus ulti doesn't actually kill anyone, but honestly it was still great because the blue team still got 3 kills for 1. So they have caught up on kills here. They are now tied, and they still have their bonus global objectives, so they are ahead in gold. Anivia has blue buff, which is great for her. That ulti is pretty much making blue buff necessary. And Zac is just walking around using his abilities and using his passive to go ahead and heal him up. I really do like that too. Every time he uses a skill, it puts that down. You could step on it like Lee Sin just did, but Zac usually gets more of the blobs than you are going to, as you can see, especially when he's jungle Jax, because you're not gonna, or Zac, because you're not gonna be able to do too much to him. He's not Jax. Silly self. All right, Caitlyn's pushing top. Lee Sin or Shen is there to help him or her, whatever. Riven's coming up to defend her tower. I believe she's gonna get there in time. I'm not sure if she's gonna be able to hold it versus these 2 of them, but in the meantime, Sona and Karthus are a little extended there. The Draven came in, though, and was able to take down that Blitzcrank, and the Shen and Caitlyn fell back because of this, and they are coming back over to help. The Shen is coming from behind the blue team. He's probably going to catch at least a couple in the grab. Not always the best idea, but in this case, I think it's probably a good idea. But, I don't know. I mean, Zac is bouncing around, probably going to take down this Anivia, unless she has her egg. She does not, I believe, have her egg. But there's the Shen ulti, which is going to save her. And nobody ends up dying from that. But it looks like Riven actually just killed Caitlyn. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. I didn't even notice that. At least I think it was Riven that killed Caitlyn. Let's watch this Caitlyn. I know she died, but I'm not exactly sure how. Ah, she was coming over to help, and yeah, she got caught by the Riven. She tried to flash over the wall, but it did not end up happening. It was a good attempt, but nope. And yeah, there's the Shen ulti that saved that Anivia's life, followed by the wall that helped save her life as well. But the blue team is actually going to go ahead and push down this tower. The purple team had to fall back from that engagement, so they are going to lose this tower. They may end up losing top tower as well, and maybe bottom tower. It looks like the blue team is pinging bottom tower to go ahead and go in on it. Zach just used his jump to go ahead and get over there and get into the fray quickly, and almost definitely going to take this tower down. It is way too low for them to be able to defend. The Riven is going in on this top tower. She's got it pretty low. I don't believe she's going to be able to take it down because Shen is coming to defend it. So now she's not going to be able to take it down. But the rest of the blue team is pushing down bottom. There's the Anivia ulti, but there's no minions around, so it didn't hit anything but a couple champions. And, well, it doesn't really matter. Her ulti is really quick cooldown. The blue team's going to go ahead and get this blue buff from the purple team. Good idea. It ends up going to Karthus, which is great for him. And Anivia just got caught by that slow from Karthus' wall. Zach jumped over her wall to go ahead and go in on her, and now she is in egg form getting beat up by Karthus and Draven. She does go down. Zach's overextended there, but honestly that's a good thing for him because he's a tank, and that's exactly what you want to do. So down goes the Lee Sin. The Caitlyn's going to go down as well. Blitzcrank pulled the Draven in. Draven's probably going to go down to Blitzcrank, and Zach came in now, but Blitzcrank is going to survive, but unfortunately for the purple team, it was indeed Blitzcrank who got the kill there. Blitzcrank now has blue. Blitzcrank got shutdown gold. I mean, it's great to get the shutdown gold, but you really want it to go to your carries. But in this case, it's definitely better that it goes to him than having it go to nobody. Shen actually got really close to dying there, but he did not end up going down. And now the purple team has lost another tower because the blue team was able to go ahead and take that down. Riven's going in on this inhib, but she's going to have to go ahead and fall back. The rest of the purple team's coming back up now. Draven is still dead, but they don't really need him at the moment. They are going in on this dragon. Karthus needs to be careful. He's really low. He definitely doesn't want to be the one tanking this. He's going to go in on it, take a couple shots, but then he's going to give over tanking to somebody else. Got pretty close there. Either way. But they're going to get this dragon for free. I do like how the swirlies come around him after he shuts off his spell there, the Defile. I really like how that looks. A little dragon swirling around him. Anivia was coming up to go ahead and go in on this tower a little bit, but she actually had... Oh, she just walled herself off, and she just died because of it. That was terrible. Obviously, that's not what she intended. She was trying to wall between her and Riven so she could survive, but instead, she walled in front of where she was going, so she did not end up being able to do anything. There's the Zac ulti bouncing up that Caitlyn, allowing Draven to catch up, and there's the Blitzcrank pull helping allow the Draven to catch up. Draven does end up taking her down. The Draven is now going in on Lee Sin. Lee Sin does not die. Draven does take down the Blitzcrank, though. Now the Lee Sin's going to die. Karthus gets him, and Shen's getting really low here. Riven's going in on him, Zac's going in on him, and there's the Karthus slow, which does end up giving it time for them to catch up. And Karthus gets the kill. There is the ace, and that might actually be game. Anivia's back up, but she is the only one. Actually, yeah, I don't think this is going to be game. It's going to be pretty close. They are going to get this tower and probably the inhib as well because Anivia's not going to be able to defend this alone. But they're not going to be able to take down the double tower there before the rest of the enemy team comes up, as they are coming up now. But they are going to get this inhib. They may end up going for the other inhib, but I think that would probably be a bad call if they do. Karthus actually just got hit by that Anivia wall, so he's going to go down to this. Down he goes, but they do get the inhibitor. He was a little out of position there, and that wall really punished him for it. There's the Sona ulti, actually landing on the Caitlyn, I believe. And now Riven is overextended there. She's going to go down as well. Sona is probably going to go down. There is the death of Riven. The Sona goes ahead and flashes over this wall. Blitzcrank flashes to get her, but it's Blitzcrank. He does end up landing the pull. The Lee Sin Q came through, but did not end up landing. And unfortunately for Sona, she is going to go down. Goodbye, Sona. Oh, and Blitzcrank got the kill with his ulti. Oops. I think he actually wanted that kill because that looked fairly deliberate. Save your ulti that long and then ulti when she was that low. It's possible it wasn't, but honestly I think it probably was. But Draven's going to go ahead and get this farm. Zach is back in his jungle jumping around. Boing, boing. And he's going to go down bot and get the farm. Shen's pushing this tower down up here. And by the way, for anybody who's wondering why I do this and use my arrow keys to get around, it's because if I use my mouse, for some reason inside of the replay, I don't know why, but it doesn't have a right side. I do have dual monitors, so it just lets it go to the next monitor over, which is not at all what I want. I want it to stop over there to go ahead and direct it around. I'm used to directing with the mouse. Anivia's dead. Yeah, she's gone. There's the Draven ulti, and actually she might not be dead. The Blitzcrank pull does end up getting her, and I think she might be safe because of it. She's going to try to take down Draven. He is stunned. She does take him down. Sona might end up taking her down. There's a shield there. The Riven tried to take her down with her ulti. There's the Karthus ulti, which is going to take down that Anivia, though. So, and he actually got Blitzcrank, too. Blitzcrank was down because of that Draven, and I think Zach went in on him, too. Let me go ahead and check. But yeah, that's why I usually steer with the mouse now, because I can either steer like this or by using my keys. And a lot of times it's easier to go ahead and use the keys. Boink. Wham. Got him pretty low there just from that alone. Blitzcrank is actually really good at that. So yeah, that's what put him so low. He does pop that passive. And I'm going to go ahead and see exactly what happens. Zach goes in on him. I don't think he does any damage. Actually, he might have done some damage there, and no, he didn't actually end up landing, so he just used his ulti. He tried to hit him with it, but he didn't end up landing it. But it doesn't matter because the Karthus took the Blitzcrank down anyway. And now Karthus and Riven and now Sona are going in on this Baron, and Zach is doing so as well. Lee Sin's going to see Zach jump over, and now Lee Sin knows, oh, they're going in on doing it. So, he warded so he could come over and smite steal if possible, but it was a little too late by that time. Zach only went over at the last possible second to go ahead and get the smite. And his jump is huge. That range is insane. And Shen's a little out of position, but it is Shen. He's super tanky, but Caitlyn just got hit by that wall there. So Zach just went in on her. Karthus flashed to get to her. She flashed to get away, but I don't think she's going to get away anyway. Riven's actually chasing Shen down there. I don't think she's going to be able to take him. But she's going to try. He does end up escaping that after all, yeah. And Blitzcrank came in to help push people off of Caitlyn, so Caitlyn does end up surviving this. The Anivia wall there just kept that Zach inside of her ulti there for a bit longer than he really wanted to be there. And there he jumps in again. He does use his ulti. He's got a pretty short cooldown. Pumps everybody up, and down goes the Lee Sin. Anivia's trying to get away. She does end up getting away with no problem. What was that? Purple team something. I think purple team just got a kill. I think that's what he was saying, but I don't know. Purple team obviously did get a kill, but I don't know if that's what they were saying. Zach went in on the Anivia again. Blitzcrank tried to land a pull, but he missed. And now Shen's going to go down because he was entirely too far up. He was in the middle of the enemy team, and the rest of his team was saying, bye! Ooh, Anivia melted. Well, Anivia and Caitlyn together melted that Karthus there. Oh, that was so close. Had the Draven gone this way instead of that way, he probably would have gotten a kill on Caitlyn there. But honestly, it doesn't matter. He's going in on that tower instead, which is probably the better idea. I mean, you know, getting a kill on Caitlyn's nice for your KDA, but it's not really good for ending the game. So he is going to go ahead and end this game. Riven took down Blitzcrank before it ended, and now it ended. So that is the end, because it ended. I wonder how many times I can say ended. So let's go ahead and look at the CS, KDA, and items here. We've got Shen with 177 CS versus Riven with 213. He is 257 versus 734. She's definitely ahead of him there. He's got a Warmog's, Sunfire Cape, Ninja Tabby with a Home Guard enchant, and Doran Shield. Obviously he's going tanky. He's Shen, of course he's going tanky. Riven has Bloodthirster, Last Whisper, Brutalizer, Mercury's Treads, and Doran's Blade. We've got Anivia with 243 CS versus 178 for Karthus. She's actually ahead of him there. She is 6'5'10 versus 9'8'6. She has her Seraph's Embrace, which she actually did use to shield herself there, as you notice. The Athene's Unholy Grail, Sorcerer Shoes with the Home Guard Enchant, Haunting Guise, Negatron Cloak, and Doran's Ring versus Rabadon's Death Cap, also Seraph's Embrace, which he did not use. He didn't need to. Actually, I guess he probably did. He's dead. Morellonomicon, the Needlessly Large Rod, and Sorcerer's Shoes. Caitlyn has 182 CS versus 179 for Draven, so they're actually really close there. But she's 886 versus 1378, so yeah, that definitely put her way behind in gold. She has an Infinity Edge, Blade of the Rune King, Berserker's Grease of the Home Guard Enchant, Pickaxe, Doran's Blade, and a Longsword versus Bloodthirster, Phantom Dancer, Last Whisper, Quicksilver Sash, probably good against, I would guess, Blitzcrank and Shen. Probably more for Shen, honestly. He's got Berserker's Greaves and a Pickaxe. The Blitzcrank has 33 CS versus 14 for Sona. He is 479 versus 0418. He's got Lichbane, Needlessly Large Rod, Blasting Wand, Cage's Lucky Pick, Philosopher's Stone, and Boots of Speed versus Runic Bulwark. He actually didn't build support at all. A lot of times you don't see the Blitz build support, though. They tend to go for damage instead. Runic Bulwark, Ruby Sightstone, Philosopher's Stone, Boots of Speed, and a Sight Ward, which he actually doesn't have. Shame on you, Blitzcrank. Shame. Finally, we've got Lee Sin, who has Aegis of the Legion. He's at 89 CS, by the way, versus 191, which is a huge difference. He's 3613 versus 2114. So he's got Aegis, Runic Bulwark, Lock of the Iron Solari, Wriggle's Lantern, Ruby Crystal, Boots of Speed, and a Sight Ward. Always good to get away. Against Sunfire Cape, Spirit Visage. That one's a great item for use with his little passive there. The Spirit of the Spectral Wraith, Mercury's Treads with the Home Guard Enchant, and Warden's Mail. So that is the end of this game. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.